I'm gonna throw a little voiceover on here. So this is how it started, just with the sketches, and just kind of comparing woods to use for the drawer fronts of the 2-drawer. It's pretty well self-explanatory. I didn't really videotape much. I just took a lot of photographs. This is the box as it would look. Each one of these was a totally new design for me to figure out how to do, so they were experimental, and they were both unique in their own way. So there's a little mistake where I went too far with the saw, and there's another one that was a knot. So you can find the mistakes, okay, but I'm not going to show you where they're at. Half the job is hiding them good enough that you won't notice them. These are the drawers after they were done. Give you an idea how they were built a little bit. So right here is a view of the lamination. I put a piece of particle board underneath the solid walnut because the walnut was starting to cup, and I was afraid it was going to warp out of shape. So I added more body to the bottom of it. Added a lot of weight too, but at least it made it flat, and that was the main thing. Just started putting finish on stuff. These are just proof that you can never have enough clamps. So here's the bullet hole that I filled. I filled it with a little piece of wood from the same piece that got cut and turned it down. And it worked out pretty good. You can still see it, but it's not too bad. So there's another mistake you'll have to look for. I knocked the corner off the top of it and had to patch a piece in there just to make it square again. But you can kind of see how I did it right there. It turned out okay too. That's half the battle, man, is figuring out how you're gonna fix stuff you screw up. This is how I solved the problem of getting the velvet put in there. I just spray glued it to poster board, and that fit in pretty good. Here I'm making the pins for the necklace hangers. That was a bit of a job. A little, I think it was about an 1/8 inch, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know exactly how thick that stuff was. It was pretty small. A little brass rod. Just cut them into little sections and then polished the end of them so it wasn't sharp. Turned out pretty good too. And continued through that for, I think there was 16 of them in total. And I'm drilling a little wedge that I made to put the pins in to hang the necklaces from. The whole thing about that was I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. Here I'm cutting the brass for the knobs, and kept going with that for a bit too, but most of it is just little sections I'm showing you so you can see. Just ground them round, mostly round anyway. I turned these into little spindles, I guess you might call it, and took them to the bandsaw. That's my bandsaw looking down, and then just cut them into little sandwiches, so little brass hamburgers. I was getting the brass and the wood flush with each other on the disc sander here, and take them back to the lathe, round off the top, and then cut the little fillet in there so you can grab a hold of them. And that was about it for the knobs. Obviously, I'm not an editor, but this was a little bit out of sequence. I was just polishing of those pins for the necklace hangers out of sequence. But I only made this so you could have a little history on, kind of see how the thing was being made and everything like that, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I lost all the footage of the glass work I did. So I had that videotaped, but it's all gone. So that was all I had was that photograph. There's the final product, almost, without the mirrors. I hadn't put the mirrors in yet. But there you go, buddy.